the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of here and nigh, for the heart and mind's delight, for mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the wonder of each hour of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of human care, sister, brother, parent, child, for the kinship we all share, for all gentle thoughts of mine. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. This our hymn of grateful praise.
And let there be sound, and let there be light. This is a new day. This is a new day full of sound. Thank you, Tim. Light and expectation. This day has been waiting for you. This day has been waiting especially for you, to embrace you, to guide you. This day has been waiting with open arms, just for you. This is the day we have been given. Let's not waste it. Come now and let us worship together. Please rise in body or spirit. For our first hymn, 68, Come Ye Thankful, in the gray hymnal.
Crops are gathered in, safe before the storms begin. God our Maker will provide for our needs to be supplied. Come to God's own temple, raise a song of harvest home. All the world
Welcome, everyone. Another beautiful sunny day, right? I've been wondering if that's part of the reason why Thanksgiving has snuck up on me this year. Just the weather has been just so glorious. A couple announcements this morning. Just take a big whiff. Do you smell Thanksgiving? That's because we have probably half the congregation right now actually in the kitchen, cooking a wonderful meal, getting things prepared. This is one of my favorite holidays. And all of you are welcome. So we have more than enough food for every single person. More than enough. You can just eat desserts. We have a whole table. So join us. It would be our pleasure. Please join us all after service for a nice meal, nice drink, dessert. And the only other announcement I have, you've probably seen the poster, we have a Zen meditation retreat coming up on December 1st and 2nd. It's open to everyone, and there's no set cost. We do accept donations to support Roshi Daikin Nelson coming from New York City, and also supporting the Youngstown Zen Center, which started in this church. But it's open to everyone. So if you're interested, you're welcome to come to any part of it. It'll be Friday and Saturday, December 1st and 2nd, and you can come for any part of it. So if you're interested, contact me, let me know. And now I'd love to invite Ryan Striefler for our Pledge Drive update.
Good morning. So, I don't know if you know, but every third Saturday of every month we have a work party here starting at 10 a.m. where different members of the congregation get together and just work on the building, sweep, mop, kind of clean, but also longer term projects, paint doors, et cetera, et cetera. And I've been participating in this for like the last year now as part of kind of my own personal pledge during Pledge Drive last year with our family not really able to donate any more money than we already were. We decided to try to donate our time in some other ways, and one way I decided to do that was to show up on the third Saturday of each month. Now, work party is an interesting euphemism because if you've ever participated in these, I don't know how much of a party it is to be shoved up in the attic here in this little crawl space and pulling various miscellaneous things out of storage so they can blow in insulation. Although yesterday was a really nice day, and it did kind of feel like a party to be out raking leaves with some friends, having some laughs, getting to know one another a little bit more. I like it because I get to know people here at the church. I get to share some laughs as we work together towards a common goal. And our common goal is preserving this beautiful old building as a sacred space, and maintaining our legacy of a progressive faith here in the Mahoning Valley. And there are definitely plenty of ways we can all pitch into. It doesn't have to be on a Saturday painting. We're in the midst of our annual November pledge drive where we seek out pledges for donations for funds to UUYO to help us run this church for the next year. We basically use donated funds and pledges of monthly donations, etc., to keep the doors open. We ask our members to pitch in and cover our yearly expenses, just as part of our practice of covenant and community. Anyways, there's a letter that the Pledge Drive team has prepared, and we can break down all the costs and all the expenses and the funding if you're interested in that. But suffice it to say, we need about $150,000 a year in order to keep this place running and continue to employ 3 different individuals, the utilities, etc. And as we've talked in the past, that breaks down to about $100 per member per month if you wanted to break it down just by membership. That's people who have signed our book, etc. Of course, there's more individuals than that attend, and not everybody who attends is interested in formalized membership. So what can we do to help out UUYO in this sacred space as we look forward to a new year? Number one, you could consider pledging either a one-time donation or a monthly donation to help this church cover expenditures. Again, if you wanted to take that big number and break it down to the individual level, it would be about $100 a member a month to help us get to that $155,000 goal for the year. Certainly not all of us can afford that, and that's definitely understood. You know, Unitarian, there's no dues, there's no creed, there's nothing you have to ascribe to join us here each Sunday. You just need to have the spirit of love that we seek to foster in this room. But in order to have a room to foster those relationships in, we do unfortunately need to secure some capital. And so if you couldn't pledge your amount, you could begin to bring some individuals with you to share in this sacred space with us. Again, not out of a sense of obligation, and certainly not to convert anyone or save souls, but as just in the spirit of growing our community. And who knows, maybe down the road those individuals would be able to help us out financially, and we could just spread these costs. Certainly you could donate your time. Like I had noted, part of my pledge was monetary, but part of it was one I made inside myself to kind of show up at these certain events and pitch in, and we always need that type of help. And certainly we're going to be doing some fundraisers later on in the late spring, perhaps April and May, and you could help pitch in with those so we could generate some more funds. And if you're able to, if your financial circumstances permit, you might consider covering another member's amount financially. Maybe you are able to cover your family's amount, and you've been blessed with some extra funding, and you can consider an additional donation just to help other individuals that are interested and dedicated, but just might not be able to swing that amount. Anyways, we can't say enough about the generosity of you fine individuals. It's a challenging thing to get up in front of people and ask them for money when so many of us do so much already, and we're definitely humbled to be able just to participate in this attempt to kind of secure our legacy moving forward financially here together. So thank you so much. That's all I got. Cool.
Thank you, Ryan. And now I'd love to invite J.L. Terrell for our chalice lighting.
So good. Good morning, everyone. I want to thank Reverend Joseph, Jan Grigsby, and all of you for inviting me today. I'm here because tomorrow is Transgender Day of Remembrance. I am no activist. In fact, I'm not much of an advocate. I'm just an old woman who's a comic and a writer. But I suppose that's good, not beating you over the head as an activist might do, but as a normal person representing my community. Transgender Day of Remembrance began in 1990 in Texas, I think, by two women who decried the many senseless transgender deaths, mostly girls, happening every year, year after year across the country. They said their names and they asked why. This was repeated the following year and every year since, through today, 23 years later. Today I have a chosen family and a circle of friends, and without exception, we are all shunned and ostracized. We are rejected by our birth families. This happens across the board and across the nation. Young people are thrown out or driven out of their families, and with no skills and no means, they hustle and do other things not to be discussed in the white walls of this church, and they turn to drugs. It's what they can do to stay alive. So people might think no one will miss them, no one will mourn them. And that's how this day came to pass. How many transgender people are out there? Statistics say that about 0.5% of society are transgender. That's not counting those who are hiding from society, the closeted, or those that are hiding from themselves, the repressed. So in an average group of 100 people in Walmart or at Cedar Point, 12 to 15% will be gay or lesbian. That's enough for a cocktail party. But in that same group, my leg would be transgender. So what can we do? What can you do? You can accept them. Recognize and love those among you who are different. If you can't accept them, I know you can tolerate them. Let's have a moment of silence for the transgender people who lost their lives last year. Thank you. I'll light the chalice.
Now I welcome you to greet your neighbor. Especially look out for someone that maybe you haven't seen. It's just a simple hello. My name is.
I'm going to be reading The Secret of Saying Thanks by Douglas Wood and illustrated by Greg Shedd. The world is full of secrets, gentle, shy things that some people know and some don't. The best secrets are the ones that make us happy, and the best thing about any secret is sharing it with someone else who wants to know. Perhaps you'd like to know a secret, one of the happiest ones of all. You will surely find it for yourself one day. You'll discover it all on your own, maybe when you least expect it. You might discover the secret at dawn, a morning like all other mornings. The sun climbs over the edge of the earth and begins to fill the world with light and warmth. It touches your cheek with a golden ray, and you say softly, simply, thanks. Thank you, sun, for the gift of a new day, for all its choices and challenges, for all the beauty that it brings. Or sometime perhaps you'll notice a flower as if for the very first time, and thank it and all of its bright brothers and sisters for the grace of their blossoms and the sweetness of their breath, for coloring your path and reminding you how easy it can be to smile. Or you might discover the secret when you find yourself under an old tree and grateful for cool shade on a hot day. Stay a while beneath its limbs, remembering there are the good and gentle gifts of all trees over all the earth, forests to explore, leaves to sing in the breeze, and roots to hold the earth in place. and simple lessons in how to grow. One long day you may stop to rest upon a rock, a silent stone that's been waiting age upon age for someone to come along and just say thank you. Thank you, all stories and rocks and pebbles and hills and mountains. Thank you for your silence and patience, for standing still and not changing in a world so full of noise and speed and change. You may find the secret when you hear a bird sing and feel grateful for the gentle music of the skies, for flash of wing and brightness of feathers, for the good company of graceful creatures who dance upon the wind. And perhaps you'll remember to thank all creatures who swim or crawl or creep or burrow or climb or run, creatures with fur or feathers, horns or hooves or scales or shells. They remind us of the mystery and beauty of all life, and they save us from a great loneliness here on our small blue planet, sailing among the stars. And those stars themselves, tiny twinkling beams from far, far away, farther than you can even dream, that give just enough light for dreaming or wishing upon. Don't forget to thank them. And the soft, shining moon, the night sun that helps us to find our way in the dark. Beneath the moon, the earth's waters are spread with silver lakes and rivers, ponds and puddles, and streams and oceans. It is the waters that make the magic of life possible. Perhaps one day, taking a cool drink or paddling a canoe or swimming or splashing in the sun, you will remember to say thanks. Thank you, waters, for sweet drinks, for cool swims and reflecting sunsets, and for the gift of life itself. Maybe you'll find the secret in your own home, sitting around a table with people you love, giving thanks for good food and the good earth that gave it, for the many hands that prepared it, and for family to share it. Perhaps one day you'll feel the secret when someone is holding your hand or kissing away tears or hugging you close or reading you a story or tucking you into bed at night and reminding you to say your prayers. Or it might be in your bedtime prayer itself, as you say thanks for the sun and moon and stars and rocks and trees and flowers and waters and birds and animals and all those who love you and all the love you feel for them. For here is the secret, if you've not already guessed it. The heart that gives thanks is a happy one, for we cannot feel thankful and unhappy at the same time. The more we say thanks, the more we find to be thankful for. And the more we find to be thankful for, the happier we become. We don't give thanks because we're happy. We are happy because we give thanks.
Now I need all the Padawans to come up and help with the reading of the covenant. And then after that, we'll have a special task for the congregation to do as well. Ready? Okay, ready? Here, you can get in front of the microphone. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now, for you Padawans, the congregation is going to start singing you out. So what that means is we're going to sing a song as we leave, okay? So we're going to learn it, and we're going to go through it twice. And so on the second time around, we will be leaving, okay? Okay, so it is in your order of service. Did you see that arrow in your order of service? Follow that arrow. You'll see that. Okay, ready? Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere.
Our church is supported by pledged income from members and friends like you. If you wish to make an offering to us, please designate on your check or envelope that it is for the UUYO. Each week we give away any unmarked cash or checks to a not-for-profit organization identified for that month. Our giveaway, the plate recipient for November, is the Senior Support Action Group. The Senior Support Action Group, or SSAG, is a nonprofit program of family and community services working to improve the health, well-being, and independence of low-income, homebound seniors and other disabled persons by providing access to food, transportation, and companionship throughout Mahoning, Trumbull, and Columbiana counties. We will now receive the offering that supports the life of Youngstown, the Mahoning Valley, and our wider world.
I've been trying to get you to help me sing the last couple weeks, so let's do this one more time. This is an old Appalachian song. Will the circle be unbroken? You probably know this, right? Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. So I'll sing the verses and you sing the choruses. I was standing by the window on one cold and cloudy day when I saw that old hearse a-coming, for it carried my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a good home waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. So I said to the undertaker, well, undertaker, please drive slow. 'Cause this lady you are carrying, Lord, I hate to see her go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a wind, sky, Lord, in the sky. All right, just you. Circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a wind waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
I think it's a good time for some silence.
Yellow Glove by Naomi Shihab Nye. What can a yellow glove mean in a world of motor cars and governments? I was small like everyone. Life was a string of precautions. Don't kiss the squirrel before you bury him. Don't suck candy, pop balloons, drop watermelons, or watch TV. When the new gloves appeared one Christmas, tucked in soft tissue, I heard it trailing me. Don't lose the yellow gloves. I was small. There was too much to remember. One day, waving at a stream, the ice had cracked, winter chipping down. Soon we would sail boats and roll into ditches. I let a glove go, into the stream, sucked under a street. Since when did streets have mouths? I walked home on a desperate road. Gloves cost money. We didn't have much. I would tell no one. I would wear the yellow glove that was left and keep the other hand in a pocket. I knew my mother's eyes had tears they had not cried yet, and I didn't want to be the one to make them flow. It was the prayer I spoke secretly, folding socks, lining up donkeys in the windowsills. To be good, a promise made to the roaches who scouted my closet at night. If you don't get in my bed, I will be good. And they listened. I had a lot to fulfill. The months rolled down like towels out of a machine. I sang and drew and fattened the cat. Don't scream, don't lie, don't cheat, don't fight. You could hear it anywhere. A pebble could show you how to be smooth, tell the truth. A field could show how to sleep without walls. A stream could remember how to drift and change. Next June, I was stirring the stream like a soup, telling my brother dinner would be ready if he'd only hurry up with the bread. When I saw it, the yellow glove draped on a twig, a muddy survivor, a quiet flag. Where had it been in the 3 gone months? I could wash it, fold it in my winter drawer with its sister. No one in the world would ever know. There were miracles on Harvey Street. Children walked home in yellow light. Trees were reborn and gloves traveled far but returned. 1,000 miles later, what can a yellow glove mean in a world of banknotes and stereos? Part of the difference between floating and going down.
I wanna give. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. It's these expressions I never give that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. I've been to Hollywood and I've been to Redwood. I'd cross the ocean for a heart of gold. I've been in my mind and it's such a fine line that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old.
we're in a season of gratitude. And I feel very grateful for you. These have been some of the happiest years of my life. Truly. Being here with all of you. I'm continuing to learn so much from all of you. You know, learning from each other, being together, this has grown in importance in my life. I've always found it challenging to talk at any length about legacy. What is it we hope to leave behind this moment and in the future, after we're gone? And I've learned to trust my first instinct around questions like this. What do you hope your legacy is? My first instinct startled me when I first heard that question. What do you hope your legacy is? My first thought, which seemed to come out of nowhere, maybe everywhere, was, I'm not sure I'm here to accomplish any specific thing. Well, then what? What is a legacy then? Being with you has helped me live into that question and come up with something of an answer. I think what I've yearned for deep in my heart, what I've been searching for all these years, what I've wanted most in my life, is something that has already been accomplished. Something that is already here. Something, or maybe no thing. Something that is here, but is missed or overlooked. Missed by me, missed by many other people. And through my time with you, I've come to realize that all I'm really doing, what has given me great joy, is to point out what is already here. What is already wonderful. What is already beautiful. What is already complete. Golden. In the literal sense, I don't really do anything. And yet you still try to pay me every single year. Which is another small miracle worth pointing out. I have felt, especially this past year, that the greatest joy for me, and it does give me great joy, is to find ways to express how beautiful you are. How wonderful this life is, even when it's hard. It's a joy to share stories, find ways to try to express the wondrous experience of being here with all of you in this time, this place, this second, this life. I will never tire to find words to express that. That deep gratitude, that deep appreciation. I know now that even if I live 100 years, I will never have enough years to express how wondrous this truly is. I find when I talk with people, and I've been doing that lately, and when I watch the news, people are living very deeply right now. And they're asking questions that are as old as time itself, but they are still very much alive, very much important questions. Questions about how we can live in peace together. Questions about how we find a new way forward together, not completely bound by our past. Questions about how quick time flies and what it means to appreciate our loved ones while they're here, while we're here. These questions are part of our legacy. And I like the image of being a caretaker for these questions, a caretaker for this legacy. And while we care for these questions, I'm more than happy to point out the obvious, the kindness and resilience of a congregation like this, who dares to roll up their sleeves and fully immerse and engage with this life for the benefit of all people, all life. I've been thinking of the cyclical nature of legacy, about the different seasons that we find ourselves in. I have more of a respect for cycles, for seasons now. I have much more respect for the vast amount that is completely out of my control. Sound, light, weather, my own body rhythm. So much that just happens without any conscious thought or effort. When I first began in ministry, it was a mandate for my mentor, and it was a command, to take one day off completely from my usual routine in church. No emails, no planning, no writing, no nothing. He said, Sabbath is an important discipline. I asked why. Never taken a Sabbath before. It was not part of my world. His answer was very simple. He said, it's good to experience the world getting along without you. That seemed sound to me. But I discovered things in keeping that discipline that I didn't anticipate. I'm much more grateful for the quiet, almost invisible ways my life is completely supported, without effort. Food, clothing, this service. All of us together make this service what it is. That's truly wondrous. It's a tradition in Judaism and Christianity to take a period of Sabbath every 7 years, just to be, to reflect on what has happened, to be more attentive to what comes next. The Board of Trustees has graciously granted me that time, a period of sabbatical, of Sabbath. The dates I'll be away will be this upcoming spring, March, April, May, 2024. It'll be good to see what you all get up to. And embarking on this has given me a newfound appreciation for legacy. I see now that for anything to last, a relationship, a commitment, an institution, it requires a long view. It's not a sprint. And sabbatical for me is part of that long view. I've learned enough to know that sometimes the best learning comes when we're not trying to learn anything. It surprises us. It surprises me when I leave room for that surprise to enter. Well, by accident and not by design, by the time I get back from sabbatical, it'll be 7 years that we've done ministry together. I respect those happy accidents much more now. I've made a list of things I'd like to experience while I'm on sabbatical, things that I usually don't have the time or energy for currently, and I've come up with 3 things, 1 per month. The first thing that I've wanted to experience at least once in my life is to visit where my mother's family is from originally, in India, northern India, near the border of Pakistan. And it just so happens that where my family is from originally is where the Buddha achieved enlightenment, lived, and taught. So, I'm going to see those places while I'm there. The second thing that I wanted to experience at some point in my life is some time in the desert. It's one of the environments I've spent little or no time in, and for some reason I feel an attraction toward it. My original plan was to go to Israel and Gaza. And I do think in the back of my mind, if I would have taken sabbatical now, who knows, right? But due to war, I'm going to stick closer to home and stay in this country. I think I'll go to New Mexico, a state I've spent very little time in, and experience some of the landscape and culture there. And then the third thing I've hoped to experience at least once is a pilgrimage walk. Jennifer's father passed away this year, a few months ago, not even a year. And Robert was born at St. Andrews by the Sea. In the middle of a thunderstorm was a story he told me. Together, Jennifer and I will walk the way of St. Andrews through part of Scotland, ending the pilgrimage at St. Andrews by the Sea. For both of us, I think that will be incredibly meaningful. I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I'm grateful for my sabbatical committee who has set things in motion to make this happen. Believe it or not even Thanksgiving yet. We already have worship leaders for all the Sundays. I'm away. It'll be a mix of our very talented worship associates and some of my Unitarian Universalist colleagues from Ohio who are coming to pitch in for me. I think it will be a very dynamic and fascinating 3 months for you, and for me too. And I'm looking forward to sharing my journey and sabbatical stories and learnings with all of you. I'm sure there will be mishaps, and I hope wonderful surprises. What do you hope your legacy is? What do you hope our shared legacy is? I don't think we're necessarily meant to answer that straight on, but to be caretakers of these questions, to both engage them and give them room to breathe. I think that's a good thing. For me, it still comes back to the questions that are as old as time and still very much our questions. I imagine someone walking along Wick Park with a furrowed brow, wondering if they should give life one last shot. And I want to be part of a voice that says emphatically, yes, please, don't give up yet. Don't give up. Whoever you are, whatever your identities are, please, don't give up. You're beautiful. And you make us beautiful. You make us matter. We need each other. And we need you. I still sometimes am that person with the furrowed brow. When I was an intern in Tulsa, people would watch services from all over the world. It was kind of wonderful and disconcerting to get these emails from people who watched your services from another country who you never met. One person in Europe said in an email, "I relate to you because you seem like you have trouble falling asleep at night. With your brow furrowed, constantly concerned for the state of the world." I thought, that's not always a bad thing, I guess. However, we can connect. It's good to see ourselves in each other. It's good. I didn't mean for this to be an afterthought, but I really wanted to share with you Naomi Shihab Nye's poem, Yellow Glove. Jeff played Weave the Sunshine last Sunday, and I read this poem and was struck by the radiant yellow. You could see it now. The glorious, radiant thing that we're sure we've lost. We're sure of it. But in another season is found in front of our eyes. There you go, in that pew. Here. And I'm glad Jeff played Heart of Gold with the harmonica. I pushed. I made it happen. That was good. And I was curious to see how that song was composed for some reason, and I came across a happy accident. Neil had a song in mind, a great song for an electric guitar, but then he threw his back out, and his electric guitar was too heavy for him to play. So he was forced to switch to an acoustic guitar, and he thought to himself, God, I'm getting old. He couldn't even play his instrument. And out of that sense of loss, Heart of Gold. The radiance comes through anyway. In fact, maybe it came through more directly. That radiance. I don't think we have full control over what our legacy is, but I think we can be caretakers of it. Caretakers of our life. I've learned to trust that sometimes the radiance comes through, whether we mean it to or not. It's just there. And if we're lucky, maybe someone will point it out to us. Please pray with me. Spirit of love, I'm really looking forward to an early Thanksgiving dinner. Thank you for everyone who came early to work in the kitchen. People who came and brought wonderful dishes and took time to make sure the place was clean and welcoming and presentable. Thank you to everyone who's part of that. Thank you to everyone who is here. Thank you to everyone on Zoom who is joining us and everyone online who will join us at some point in the future. Know that you all are very beautiful and unique and needed during this time. I hope that you feel that. Please help us all to feel that together. All this we pray. Amen. Please rise in body or spirit for a good old classic traditional hymn, Amazing Grace. Some of you may not even need the hymnal, but it's there if you need it.
And Tim is going to come down and lead us for this morning. So, follow Tim.
Wait a minute. Joseph wanted me to say a couple of words about whatever for this. Amazing Grace is, it's often done in remembrance of loved ones. It's done at times like this when we're celebrating the harvest, and the idea of grace is that we are being found in favor in some way by God, a spirit. I like thinking of it as nature more than anything. We are fortunate to have nature still in harmony, still providing our food and our water and all the things we need. We're fortunate to have a community of people to be with at this time. And think of it that way. Let's sing. We'll do 4 verses, and then we'll do 1 verse humming, and I'll do a nice soft vocal on top of your humming for the 5th verse, okay? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing the Spirit's praise than when we'd first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts until we meet again.
As you depart, please remember the one great fact: you are loved and never truly alone.
Well, only you can climb that mountain, shine on me again. If you want to drink from that golden fountain, shine on me again. Sing with me. We need the sunshine out of the fall rain. We need a home to tomorrow.
Sunshine out of the falling rain. We hope of a new tomorrow. First shall
Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Let's go eat.